commentary of battle between Suebi and heimata.grand commanding Sparta. Yesterday I came home from work and tried to get games in. Out of 3 games I had 2 losses and a draw, and at that point I decided to call it quits for the day and to go to bed early, which turns out was a good decision. I was so tired that I could barely see the screen, but I wanted to play, I wanted to have fun with it, but it just wasn't happening for obvious reasons. My micro was off, I chose terrible builds, and it was almost like I could sense that I was going to make a monumental mistake a minute before I made it. Then I made it, but still I wasn't able to stop the terrifyingly horrid gameplay before it happened. So feeling a lot better today, fortunately, and things have going a lot better. This is, I think it's the 5th battle of the day. I got up quite early today, I woke up at 4 in the morning, have had some good games. I think I've won 5 times in a row now. Not that that is something to brag about or extraordinary in any way, but it's just playing well is more fun than playing horribly. Of course, playing well against opponents that also play well and coming out on top is always fun, but the main thing is having fun games. Now, I've had defeats that are just as fun or slightly more intense, I should say, than victories, and easy victories aren't really. If you can see that your opponent doesn't really know what he's doing, it's less fun than if you're able to go up against someone who clearly knows what they're doing and still come out on top. So, on to the builds. I can't see my opponent's entire army, but I could see that he was moving his general in this direction, so I figured, okay, he's going to go for this piece of terrain. My build consists of 6 Bloodsworn, 2 Berserkers somewhere in here, 2 Swordmasters, 3 Cimbri Bow-Women, 3 Germanic Youths, 1 Noble Rider General, and 1 Wolf Warrior. I think that's it. So, since this is Sparta, I didn't bring cavalry in any, well, except for my general, because I'm not too worried about citizen cavalry. Most of my units can deal with citizen cavalry fairly well. I wanted to try bringing a lot of Bloodsworn, because I haven't tried that before, and the idea here was to bring Ariovis to try the fast charge, because I seem to not be able to quite get the timing right a lot of times. But I forgot to bring Ariovistus, so I only brought the Commander General, but he's okay. So over here my opponent is gaining the high ground on the other side of this small plain, and I of course don't want to rush my army up here while under fire from all these Cretans. From what I can see, my opponent has 4 citizen cavalry, 2 Spartan pikes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Spartan hoplites, mercenary Rhodian slingers, 1 of those, and 3 mercenary Cretan archers. And his general is hiding somewhere. So, I'm going to have to deal with the skirmishers in some way, unless I want my berserkers and other valuable troops to get shot to death. So I'm running up here with my Germanic youths. They're going to act as arrow fodder, throwing javelins at these mercenary Cretans, and provoking a response from these Spartan hoplites, which is going to bring them into range of my missile troops, while enabling them to stay clear of his missile troops. So that's nice of my opponent to follow my guys like this. He's going to go into phalanx, which is going to make them take more damage from missiles, not less, because they're going to be able to raise their shields very effectively when they are in a hoplite phalanx, or hoplite phalanx. Here you can see some arrows trailing in. And I'm just posting my army here on the ridge, waiting for an opportune moment to send them screaming out of the forest. It would be really good to have fast charge while crossing this small plain, but it was not to be. So here is Spartan hoplites, so taking quite a pounding actually. I am losing my my Germanic youths, but it's completely fine if my opponent wants to waste arrows on my Germanic youths. this unit of hoplites is getting severely depleted here, which is going to be good for me once I get into melee. So I'm going to start sending in my melee units, setting up these swordmasters up front because they have decent shields and armor. I'm going to send my bloodsworn just in front of the swordmasters, and now I'm just sending in my guys, basically starting to commit to the attack. I'm going to try to keep my bow-women up here to try to support any engagements that might happen and get some shots off on cavalry. If cavalry wants to charge these bow-women, it's completely fine, because they will be uphill, fighting in the forest and fighting against citizen cavalry, so they'll be more than able to handle that. Here come the swordmasters into these Spartan pikes that didn't have time to pick out their pikes, so they're going to fight both these hoplites and the pikes, starting to rack up some kills there. So they are holding down 3 units now, very nice of them. Over here, the Spartan hoplites got overrun by swordmasters and bloodsworn. These bloodsworn are charged by citizen cavalry, and they are crappy units when fighting cavalry, pretty decent when fighting infantry with a bonus. Here come the Spartan hoplites against these spear brothers. I'm going to try to kill as many citizen cavalry as I can before the spear brothers die. Here my bloodsworn and swordmasters are doing some kind of weird dance, probably following routing units. Sending these guys in to attack the heroes of Sparta. Some of the guys I'm sending to push back the mercenary Cretan archers. My Cimbri Bow-Women are firing at these pikes, trying to take them down a bit quicker. And overall the engagements are looking alright for Suebi. Nothing concerning going on anywhere. The majority of his front line is tied down, and his skirmishers are being chased back, at least some of them are, out of the most important engagements. So I'm sending in my berserkers for the morale effects and to do some killing. His citizen cavalry is going in here, possibly for rear charges or possibly going for my skirmishers, so I kept my general back there for just such an opportunity. I'm going to send him in to charge his citizen cavalry and to give my Cimbri Bow-Women attack orders on the citizen cavalry. So between them, these guys should be more than capable of taking care of the citizen cavalry. You can see the noble riders are killing citizen cavalry very quickly on the charge, and the bow-women are providing valuable support. So he's going to disengage here and start attacking my bow-women. My bow-women have two-handed spears, so they're going to be able to deal with these horses fairly effectively. And they were depleted from before. So the melee engagements are starting to wrap up. The Spartans are slowly being killed away by this mass of barbarian warriors. The morale effect helps, of course, from the Berserk Wolf warriors. Skirmishers still being chased away, not being able to contribute to the battle in any meaningful way. The noble riders are now free to pursue these mercenary Cretans. And here some pikes out of pike phalanx are fighting a unit of spear brothers and some bloodsworn just standing around that I probably forgot about. He's going to try to peel off his Spartan hoplites here to go after my general, but that's going to be easy prey for these barbarians. He's sending some more citizen cavalry in here to attack my bow-women, and let's see if that's a good idea. Attacking uphill against Cimbri Bow-Women. It looks like the bow-women are actually winning. Yep. So let's see, the bow-women have a bonus versus... I can't see the bonus versus large here. I'm going to have to check that afterwards. But as you can see, they are doing fairly well for themselves, being able to take out these 2 units of citizen cavalry. So if you're going to go take out Cimbri Bow-Women, it's probably a good idea to send cavalry that either has the advantage of terrain, charging downhill, getting a rear charge, flanking charge, because just charging a bunch of spearwomen like this is a good way to get your cavalry killed if you aren't able to run over them in the first pass. Now they are free to start shooting at the Spartan pikes that are engaged in the rear by spear brothers. The last of the Spartans are starting to crumble and die away, and it looks like it's going to be a victory for the Suebi. Quite like that battle. I like infantry battles the most, I think, and a bit of skirmishing at the beginning and then the big infantry engagement. I like the map as well, so that was a costly victory. Not a huge difference in the amount of kills here. I brought more men than he did to the field, lower quality than his overall. His Spartan hoplites weren't able to be used to their potential, I think, and you can see the difference between the unit and pike phalanx and the units that weren't. So the difference in kills could potentially have been a lot smaller had he used these units to greater effect. And Cretan archers and Rhodian slingers almost always do well. My guys, not an impressive amount of kills on any of them really. Pretty good on these Nova Riders and decent on these Berserkers, but overall all of the units contributed in some way, either by taking damage or dealing damage or chasing away units that could have done damage to my own. Thought that was quite a fun battle. Well played, and GG to my opponent. I'll see you again on the battlefield.